Today's video is something I haven't done in a very long time, but unfortunately my camera's in the shop. So today we're doing selfie stick and mobile phone videos. So, perfect time to take a wander about the October, going into winter garden, what jobs need done and what are my thoughts. Let's go. So, one of the big jobs I'm going to get done today, and I have to be honest, I've been lazy. I should have done this a couple of weeks ago and I just didn't. But remember back when you guys were all worried when I cut back my strawberry bed, cut all the leaves off and cut it right back? Well, you can see there's a reason for that, because they're still growing even though they're not producing fruit, and it just gets a bit mad. And in here, I've got all those little runners that I planted up that I want to grow to new plants. And the reason I cut it all back is to let the light and the air in so that those little guys can get a good start in life and get going. Now, today I'm going to cut it all back again and try and find those runners that I potted up. And they are going to get planted on and start for next year's strawberries. So that's what I'm going to get going today. And also draw attention, you'll see some burnt leaves because I woke up this morning and we've had our first frost. It is the 27th of September. Wasn't expecting the first frost till the 21st of October. Yeah, so that took me by surprise. Okay, so this maybe stops you panicking a bit then. You can see it's not completely bare. I'm not quite finished, but all I'm doing is these big, old, mature leaves. I'm taking these off so I can see what's going on. But I've done enough just now that I've been able to go in and find all of the runners that I potted up. And as you can see, they're all doing awesome. They've all rooted, taken, and it's time for these to get put back in the bed. To do that, I'm now going to go through and take out all the old plants, because this was the last year and this is why I brought on the baby plants. There are a few more runners now that I'm going to put up and use again because, you know, free plants, but that's the next job. So next time you see this bed, it's going to be full of lovely new baby strawberry plants. This is back-breaking. I'm not going to lie, I'm totally knackered. Whole sack of fresh compost has been dug in. Bed is ready to go. All these new baby plants. And then lunch. An entire 2 metres by 1 metre bed of new strawberry plants for free, minus the effort. Nice layer of straw. I wish I could use all of this, but the bin's too small. The hot composter can only take so much at a time. And if I try and save this, it'll all start decomposing by the time I've got space to put it in, and it won't be worth anything. So I'll probably get about half this. I'll get it chopped up in the bin, mixed in, and the other half, it's going to go to the local compost making folk, so it won't be wasted. So as I'm dragging you round, as always, let me know if this is the type of content you want by hitting that like button. And if you want to be told every time I post a new video, you have to hit the subscribe button and the little bell to make sure you get notifications. Okay, here goes. So basically, it's the end of the season for a lot of things. Although the courgettes look all glorious and healthy and amazing still, this is maybe the last 1 or 2 courgettes, and after this it's not really going to be worth keeping them going. So I have to just bite the bullet and let them go. But it gives me space in this bed for some other stuff. This requires something a bit tougher. I don't think I've ever spoken to you guys about this. This is my hori and I love it. Fabulous for being choppy. It's like a thin trowel and also sharp on either side, a saw on one side and a knife blade on the other, so it makes really quick work of root balls and stuff. I love this guy. Okay, 2 courgette plants are gone. Strawberry bed, all the old plants are out and in the compost bin. The new plants are all planted up. I've still got to put down the straw mulch in that bed. I'll do that later on. Oh, I'm absolutely puggled. So, how about we go for a nice, calm little walk? And I'll show you some bits and pieces, because you've not had a wee bit of a tour for a while. So I'll take you with me here, just to say, I know it feels a bit sort of, it can get you down a bit when you think end of season and when things are looking a wee bit empty, like when you take stuff out the beds or the pots or whatever. But it's not the end of the world. I mean, there's still loads of beetroot coming. That's going to go for ages. I've still got green beans. That's the last of the carrots, but I've just planted some, so maybe they'll come to something. And you've just saw me totally refresh the strawberries. So it's not the end of the world. And what you can do in winter is you can add little bits of colour that will get you through the winter. So you guys know that mad storm we had trashed a lot of the hanging baskets. Petunias just didn't like it and they're gone. But what we did is we redid the baskets and we've got violas and stuff in there now that do really well over winter. These guys will last for ages and it means we'll still get these pops of colour. You can see it. So it's really not the end of the world. And again, the bed at the back, in spring this is a riot of colour. It's starting to dull down a little bit now. The prunus or the cherry trees, you see them, they're going to lose their leaves soon. That's just the way it goes. In another couple of weeks they'll lose their leaves. But still though, we've deliberately put in here the big grasses, as much as I don't like the fact they flowered this year. But they leave us with variegated foliage all through winter, so it's not bare. And then we've got ivy and dianthus and cyclamen in the hanging pots. And that ivy is changing colour for autumn. And we've got cyclamen, these will start flowering. Cyclamen are awesome for winter colour. In fact, I'm going to take you over here and show you something. Talking about finding a way to put colour in the garden over winter. So, we spoke about the cyclamen. Okay, so we've got red and white and I think we've got pink. I'll go and have a wee look. And these guys are great over winter. They'll flower. They've got gorgeous little patterned leaves and they'll survive. They're really, really hardy. Okay. Hebe. I mean, look at this again, the variegated leaves. You've got the yellow, the green. Flowers are coming up on it, look. Again, that'll be gorgeous. Now, that's a shrub. We will keep that pruned right down in this bed. We don't want this to be a big shrub. Okay. You guys know I love the astrantia. So that's still going just now. It's going great. You can see it's got some new flowers coming out. So, you know, when we get the proper horrible frosts and stuff, this will get killed and die back. But it's going for just now. Schemia, talking about having greenery. So it's getting ready for the flowers that will come in spring. There'll be beautiful red flowers. But all through winter, this will keep its leaves. So again, it gives us colour. Crocosmia's passed, so I need to get these chopped. So we've got more of the violas, the dianthus, we've got the cyclamen, more dianthus, different colours. It's just about thinking what is going to give you wee splashes of colour throughout winter, what's going to keep its foliage. Because that's the thing, it's not all just about flowers. If you've got greenery around as well, it helps things that keep their leaves, keep the green, keep the plant, the garden looking alive. All of that. It's just, that's what keeps me going. Right, now, I do have some jobs to do. So, there's more cutting back because there are things that we need to deal with that aren't going to last all throughout winter. So, I can peek through here at you. Okay, we spoke about this. The herbs have been awesome. They've been flowering, looking amazing, but it is now time to start thinking about cutting back. Now, most of my herbs are hardy, quite woody. So the rosemary, if I do it, in case you're not a herb grower, if I do it like this, look. So rosemary, this will be absolutely fine outdoors over winter here in Scotland. Oh, it will grow fine. What you may find is you won't get these nice soft tips that you use for cooking mostly. It will get quite tough and quite woody. But, you know, that's life. It will survive. Chives will survive. The parsley won't. Parsley is an annual. It's actually a biannual, but you only eat from 1 year, so it's an annual. So that will get re-sown. Sage will survive fine. I am going to have to thin it out though because I've got too much and it's mugging everything. The oregano, again, is a woody herb, so that'll do fine over winter. This will all be fine. What I need to do though is I need to trim back the mint now that it's all finished flowering because that'll get badly burnt by frost. So it's the best thing about working with herbs. Oh. So what I've been doing with the mint is kind of gradual. I've been taking about a quarter of it away at a time. I mean, mint is a hardy wee plant. It tends to mug everything else if you let it. It's not shy. But what I'm doing now, it's about taking away the tender stuff, you know, the tender tops and things, because we got our first frost last night. Shocking. Not expecting frost until the end of October. It came last night. So those frosts are what burn things. So you take the tender tops off and it helps. Look at this. This is my lime mint. Totally gorgeous. Been cut back once already. So I'm not pruning to make things nice. I'm not making them nice shapes or anything like that. I'm pruning now so that it's going to survive, to give it the best chance. This needs to be pruned, but the bees are still taking nectar from this, so I'm not going to prune it yet. I'm just going to keep an eye on things, and it's gorgeous. I do not need to keep Crocosmia seeds this year. I've got loads of new plants I put in this year. So these are going. Now, the last bits and pieces I've got to do are big jobs that are in here. I'm not going to show you them just now because we're going to talk about them later on. But yeah, whew, I'm fair puggled. So today we got the strawberry beds done. So we took all the old plants that were 3 years or older out of there, because I had a couple that were 4 years. And we dug it over. We added compost. We got rid of the straw. We planted the new plants that we grew from runners. So that's fresh, new first year plants. It's in there. I need to get straw mulch put down to keep it safe. Keep those little baby plants safe over winter. But that's that done, ready to go. We took the courgettes down because they're just not going to produce anymore. And there's no point wasting garden space for stuff that's not producing unless you like looking at it. But that's freed up a pot and a space in a bed that I can do some other things with. Watch this space. I've cut back the herbs. Doesn't look particularly bonny, but it needs to be done. And I'm going round and I'm just taking old seeds, old flower heads, all that kind of stuff off the flower beds just to tidy them up a bit. In here, we're still working on getting as much to ripen as we possibly can. I have to be honest, I'm maybe only going to get another week or so in here, and then this is all going to be chopped back. So that's probably the next thing we're going to chat about at some point. It's a shame, but yeah. But then I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to try, the old wives thing about put your tomatoes in a brown paper bag with a banana and that kind of stuff. I'm going to try that for fun. So when I do, I'll shout you guys along. And just so you guys know, coming up, we've got a couple of really big videos that I think will be helpful. All you guys who are just learning about gardening and getting going, or haven't been gardening that long and want to learn about new things for winter, I've got a couple of videos coming up just for you guys. So the next video, we're going to chat about mulch. What is mulch? Why do we mulch? What mulch should we be using? How do we do all that stuff? We're going to chat about that. And then, once in here's all cut back, I'm actually going to get the bubble wrap out and we're going to insulate the greenhouse. And then, thanks to my fabulous little Bluetooth thermometer, we're going to be able to keep an eye and see if that bubble wrap insulation makes any difference or does it make no difference at all. So yeah, so that's what's coming up. I've been Eli, I've been all round the garden in the greenhouse, doing all that kind of stuff and absolutely puggled. I hope you've had fun and, as usual, some more videos for your delectable viewing. Go and have fun and I will see you next week. Remember, we've changed the time. Sundays, noon UK time is the new time for the videos. I'll see you then, guys. See ya.